$7.9 billion. It's a little bit less than we thought that they were gonna go for. And in the words of Gina Raimondo, American-designed chips being manufactured and packaged by American workers in the United States of America. So this is a pretty important announcement for them, given the Qualcomm story. We'll come to that in a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and the way you phrase it and the comments from Gina Raimondo, really the focus on that American-made technology, which was the heart of the CHIPS Act, of course, that program of incentives and grants that was pushed through by the Biden administration. And to your point, the original number that we know Intel had been looking at was around $8.5 billion. The line's crossing the last few minutes, suggesting they're going to get $7.9 billion. That's been confirmed, $7.9 billion in terms of grants. It would still be the largest single grant from that CHIPS Act, of course, by the Biden administration. That was a combination of grants and loans. $7.9 billion will be going to Intel, and as you rightly say, that is contingent on it following through, meeting certain targets in terms of the build-out of its factories and foundries in states like New Mexico, like Arizona, like Oregon, over a certain time frame. They are likely to receive the first $1 billion as soon as this year, we are told. Intel saying that in the long term, they plan to invest potentially around $100 billion in terms of building out its manufacturing capacity in the US over the long term. So there's been some wrangling over this in the last few months. They've got it over the line now. Positive going forward for Intel in terms of being able to build out those factories at a time, of course, when it faces multiple challenges, as we saw from the most recent earnings report and the job cuts that have to come through. They've had to convince Washington. They have to convince investors now.